Yo, what up? This your boy Mellow Man Ace at Padrino.
This your boy Chingo Bling.
My name is Questlove.
What's up? This is Method Man.
I'm 50 Cent.
Yo, what's up? This is Ice Cube.
And you're checking out the Chino brothers right here. Keep it locked. Peace.
Oh, Adlai, man, I'm telling you. I don't know why. I just got real angry right before the show started.
About what?
I have no idea. Well, so I've been dealing a lot with here's the problem. So when you grow up and you're kind of a wise apple and you don't have a lot of direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when we were DJs and stuff, I was kind of the same way, but the problem is everybody's constantly telling you you're bad, or you're doing bad. So you get to a place where you're like, okay, fine then, man. If this is bad, this is how it goes. But then when I found God and all that stuff, I figured that. What up, Drask?
It's cracking.
But there's my notification for the Chino brothers to come on.
Nice.
But I figured, I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna honor and serve God, and then that I don't care about anything else. Like, I'm not gonna have any dogma or anything like that, And then I started recognizing, wait a minute, I'm not that bad. Why do people keep telling me I'm bad? Then I started realizing I was smart this whole time. When you realize you're smart at 42, I don't know if that's good for you. I feel like you should either know you're smart by then, or just have gone for the rest of your life. Right on, Drask. or just gone for the rest of your life thinking you were dumb. But I didn't figure out I was smart till I was probably 42. And the way I figured it out was I was really good at business and no one else was. And everybody had told me I was dumb. So everything I was good in business, I just assumed everybody already knew because I'm dumb. Then I started realizing, no, I'm smart. So every once in a while, I'll look back on my life and I'll think about the people who called me dumb when I was smart. And I'm like, man, what an idiot. Why would he say that? And then I get myself in a bad mood. But I shouldn't be in a bad mood. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be in a bad mood.
Yeah. Everything's good, bro.
It is 100%.
You know what I'm saying, dude? I wouldn't trade my place in life where I'm at with anything. I wouldn't do anything different looking back. I can honestly say that. Did I make mistakes? Heck yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, I'm where I'm at and everything's cool.
No, I'm totally with you on that. No, if I look back on life, because when I was young and broke, I would look back on life and be like, if I would have moved this chess piece different, it would have been a lot better or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then now I look back and I'm like, I wouldn't have my family, so on and so forth. And realistically, it's what's not to be excited about? My daughter, she's going to be in Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I just found this great Netflix documentary. I was telling Adlai about it. Adlai, you got to watch this, and everybody watching, you got to watch this. It's the Woodstock 1999 3-part documentary on Netflix. This thing is insane.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, that was about the time Adlai and I were at our highest powers in radio. I thought of a radio story the other day. I was like, oh, I should bring that up. And I forgot it already. But I was thinking about Danny, I guess. We had a midget. We had clubs.
Small person.
Yeah. I mean, we were blowing up.
And clubs aren't the same today, bro.
No.
They're not the same. And that's what our guest is going to talk about it too.
Exactly. But none of it would have been possible without the sales staff. And so we got Chris Quinones on here today. We're super excited to talk to him about booking clubs, booking gigs, booking artists, and he even booked himself a brand new gig and got himself out of the gym business. But I want to know about all this. What about you, Adlai?
I'm excited. You know what? Because I've known Chris, thinking about it, it's been close to 20 years.
God damn.
Which is insane. Well, 17, 18 years, right around there. And we didn't we knew each other. We hung out and then really just kind of maintained a social media relationship at some point too. But also I was like, man, this guy's hustling. Oh my gosh, he's doing something. Oh, he's into something. And then don't see him for a few years. And then pops up. There he is in a suit over at the Trump rally at the airport. Working. I was like, I haven't seen you in years. What are you doing?
Dude, what is that like? Hold on. We'll get into that later. But hey, Chris, I want to ask you real quick. Do you got people in LA?
As in what?
Well, I went to high school with a girl whose last name was Quinones also, but in grade school as well. And it's not a very common last name. Her name was Alexa Quinones. No, you don't got people?
That's actually because I'm Mexican and Filipino. So that's from my
wow.
Filipino side. Because my last name is Quinones with an S.
Oh.
So that
So
means
we don't-
Pino if it's with an S?
The majority,
not the
well,
Z.
we don't. There's
Yeah,
not
not
many
the
more
Z.
relatives though. So my grandpa immigrated from the Philippines over here, so that's how he got started.
There's another famous Quinones too.
Who?
Yeah, everyone asked me about the anchor guy or whatever.
Cholo Fit.
Who is it?
Oh, there,
Frankie
yeah, Cholo
Quinones,
Fit too,
Cholo
the
Fit.
Cholo Fit.
I don't
And then
know
was it
Cholo
the
Fit.
2020 guy.
And he
What
does
was
the,
it?
all right, it's time to get our knee bends in. And he's like a cholo though, dude.
Now I know that guy. Yeah.
He's another famous Quinones, dude. That's what I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, we
I
gotta
wonder
get that
about
guy on the Chino Brothers. We get that dude on the Chino Brothers.
Is that your cousin, Chris? Can you help us out?
Now we're the same height though.
You know what? That's nuts, Chris. Because thinking about it, being so you're half Filipino, half Mexican, correct?
Well, no.
All right, go ahead, tell us.
So my dad is half Mexican and half Filipino, and then my mom were Yaqui native and Mexican.
Oh wow, that's a
Yaqui,
nice.
that's
mix.
Arizona.
So I'm a pure mutt.
Yeah, Yaqui's that was big. Yaqui's
Yeah,
Arizona,
Yaqui's
right?
Arizona.
Yeah.
You're never gonna age, and you'll never have any allergies. God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
Dude, my dad thought it was so important. So my dad, like, he thought being mixed was like, this is gonna sound real bad, and I don't mean it to sound this way, but a lot of mixed people feel this, and I'm just gonna be honest about it. He felt the same way Hitler felt about white people. That's how my dad felt about mixed people. Like, he just thought they were so more superior than everybody else. And I know that sounds really bad. I don't mean to sound racist, folks who aren't mixed out there. God bless all of you. We love you all. We don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I'll tell you this. My cousin gets married, right? And I'm asking my dad about his wife. I said, hey, what's Todd's wife like? And he looks at me and goes like this, Michael, she's mixed with like 5 bloods. Like, that was his way of being like, this dude hit
like
the
excited
jackpot.
up.
Yeah, that's what he told me. But anyways, all right, let's
That's actually I would get the most. So growing up, my Mexican friends they'll tell me you don't count because you ain't full Mexican. Then my Filipino friends will be like, you don't count, you ain't full Filipino. It's like, damn it, all right then.
Yeah, dude, welcome to being mixed, bro. But guess what? You still look like you're 19. You're better looking than all of them. Don't worry about it. That's what happens when you grow up like us. It's the best, bro. I'm telling you. I might share my dad's theories a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
I was gonna say, what about that Yaqui money though? We knew some Yaqui. Dwayne was Yaqui, wasn't he?
He was Tohono
Pasqua?
O'odham.
Oh, he was Tohono O'odham. Oh, okay. Did you get any grants or anything? You got enough?
No,
enough.
So what ended up happening with my great grandpa actually, because I did my research on all this. My great grandpa, when they were fighting off the Aztecs and the Americans, eventually the Americans, overcame them. And my great grandpa actually fled up here because he didn't want to be part of their system. So we're not registered.
Oh,
Word.
okay.
Your grandfather was a rebel, man. Yeah. Rage Against the Machine, son. I ain't gonna be part of the white man's system. God bless your grandfather. And all you white folks watching, we love you too. Everyone, all of you. My wife is Caucasian. I want her to know how beautiful she is and how much I love her. Hot Doc. Stick up
DJ Doc,
please.
DJ EVP.
Somebody get me out of this horrible racist conversation.
Gavin, what's going on?
Another mixed guy. He's not helping us. So Chris, man, let's start this out. So where'd you grow up?
Originally between early Mart and Delano, going back and forth.
Okay.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
small town. And were you into hip hop as a kid? Did you like music? How are we getting into this music stuff?
Yeah, it was crazy because my grandma actually would buy me the cuss word CDs and my mom wouldn't.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Grandmas are
This
the
is
best.
way back in the day. Back when they had that was even like, what was it, the Bloods and Crips album? And
Banging on wax.
Banging
bro.
on
Don't
wax.
forget
That's
it.
what it was. That's what banging on, I was gonna say
I
battle.
remember paying the box to watch Nothing But a G Thing.
Nice.
Whoa.
With grandma's credit card?
Huh? I figured out. No, there's no way. I had to figure out another way.
Oh man.
Oh, on the phone, just dial the numbers and then punch in.
Then put the click.
Right. The mom
I
got the
go
bill.
visit my aunt and my uncle, and then I'll put the request at their house, and then.
All right. So now when you're growing up, are you hanging out with DJs or like?
No, because I'm short, so I got along with a lot of people, but I got into a lot of fights because I'm short. So I was just, honestly, I was getting into a lot of trouble, but my grades were good. I was a jock, and I always had to prove myself. And then
You're a wrestler, huh?
No,
Most short guys wrestle. What did you do?
fight in the streets.
No. You said you were a
Oh,
jock.
the jock part though.
Yeah.
Oh, the jock. Oh, I did football, track and field, and baseball.
Oh, wow. Why are you getting in all these fights? You should be popular.
Well, I was, but I get picked on by the bigger dudes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I eventually I had to set up for myself.
No, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at
Well,
you.
we know you're standing up right now, but how tall are you actually?
As tall as your hair.
I'm kidding.
Hey, listen to this though.
Are you 5'8"?
I'm a 5'2" Pikachu.
No, you're
Are you
not.
really 5'2"?
No, I'm 5'5".
Oh,
Okay.
Bro, you're gonna live forever. You're gonna live forever. My dad was short. I was like, man, I wish I was short. Like, I don't know why. Because I'm in the middle, right? 5'10". It's like, okay, you're the average height of every other human. Well, guess what, man? That's not gonna help my health. If you're short, you live forever. And
you don't see
look like you're
old
young.
tall guys.
No,
No.
you actually don't.
That's true. That is true.
All right, so now going into high school, like none of your homeboys are throwing parties, nothing. How are we doing? Like you're not. What's getting you into this music bug? That's what I'm wondering. Go ahead.
In high school, I mean, other than I did really good, like grades wise, focus between that and sports. But I mean, I'd always listen to hip hop, listen to the radio, push record when I want, the top class,
right.
with cassette, and then release a pause. So I always had the hits, and I showed my buddies and whatnot. And then eventually, what happened? I started partying a lot. Actually, my junior year, going into my senior year, just ditching. But see, I was so caught up on my grades where they wanted me to graduate my junior year.
Oh my gosh!
So everything was just cake for me. So I was just partying.
Oh, so you're pretty much done junior year, and seniors are right off. What did you go to? What high school were you at?
Delano High School.
Delano, okay. Okay. Delano. Okay.
So now when you're done with high school, are you going off to college here, or what are we doing?
So growing up, I think I get this from my great grandpa from the Yaqui, the native. Because I've always wanted to serve my country on the front line. It's one thing I've always wanted to do. But my senior year, I told myself I need to get out of Delano. So I either go to college or I'm going to the Marines or Army. I want to be on the front line. So I told myself whatever recruiter approaches me first, just so I can college this. So I ended up moving to SoCal, went to college, stayed down there. I partied a lot. I knew a bunch of promoters. So I was always getting hooked up and everything. And then
what college?
Huh?
What college were you at?
I went to DeVry Institute of Technology. This is
in LA?
In West Covina?
Yep.
In West Covina? That's where I'm from.
No,
I'm from West Covina. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Did you just go to the Safari Bar? Is that where you're partying in college, or was the Safari Bar closed?
Heck, no, I party all over downtown LA.
I got you.
Or I'd go to Metro back in was it Riverside?
Hold on, Adlai, did you know DeVry was in West Covina?
I didn't know. I knew it was in SoCal somewhere. My brother took a class there. Yeah. There's a few different campuses too, though, isn't there? Or is it mainly?
No, back then there was only like two. Actually, it was in Pomona. Another one was in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Well, DeVry Institute of Technology.
Hey, you know what though? I made my first year out of college. I made $80,000 that year. I was only 22
Good for
years
you,
old.
man.
What year was
I used
this?
to clown that commercial too.
Huh?
I used to clown that commercial. What year was
You
it?
saw it all the time.
Oh yeah.
No,
what year were you at? What year did you graduate high school?
98.
98. So that's decent money coming. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You know, wages probably what, like $5.25, $5.70 an hour.
Yeah. What did it teach you with DeVry, man?
They actually didn't teach me nothing. It's just the degree that got my foot in the door back then. For real.
Oh, that's great.
But
man.
I was doing what ended up happening though, because I always worked. I worked full time and went to college full time, so I supported myself. And this is when the cell phone industry was booming. And so I worked for it was an authorized retailer, but we tied in with Nextel Corporation. So right when I achieved my degree, I actually went to work for Nextel Corporations, and I did corporate sales. So I was dealing with all the big businesses, the truckers and all that, and that's when I made my money.
Flipping cell phones.
Yeah. Nextel.
Good for you.
That's a throwback. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. But then you ended up back in Central California after that. How'd that happen?
Yeah, well, actually, after that, I went to. I actually became a recruiter, a missions advisor for DeVry for a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Even after you don't learn nothing, you're suckering young kids into going to school.
well, see, it was so for me. They actually offered me the position because in sales, like my biggest month I brought home after taxes was 7,000, and then but there's some months I'd only bring home 4,000.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's always like this.
yeah.
And then DeVry had offered me good money, guaranteed salary, plus commission on top of that I hired. So I was just like, you know what, let me play it safe. Because actually that's when I found out my daughter's mom was pregnant. So I was like, all right, I got to keep it safe.
Have a
So are you
secure
living in
job.
Long Beach or are you living in Pomona?
At that time, I'm living in Chino Hills.
Okay, so closer to Pomona. I got you.
Yeah. Like Snoop says, I live in the hills right next to Chino.
Yeah.
Oh shoot,
Smells like
dude. Okay,
cow
so
farts in Chino Hills, dude.
does it?
Yeah, it smells like cow farts in Chino Hills.
Well, Brett, it's funny because you're right. Back then they did,
Yeah.
but the farmers sold all their cows and moved them back over here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dude, there used to be an auction out there in Chino when I was a kid.
Yeah, Chile, yeah.
And there was a swap meet next to the auction. So they were auctioning the cows, and then there was a swap meet right there. And that's where we buy our mixtapes. It was phenomenal. But yeah, it was smelling like
Wow.
Chino Hills.
That's like Hosking. Do you ever go to the Hosking swap meet here in Bakersfield? It's there's a cow auction, and then they set up all the tents and sell stuff. So,
That's so
you're
smart,
walking
man.
through poop mud. It's
Yeah,
yeah to
What are
get
you gonna
there.
do?
And they
You want
charge
some-
$1 to get in too.
$1's not bad.
Right?
All right, so
Yeah, they charge
So
for
now
swap
you're-
meets. Yeah, I was like,
now
oh.
you're doing DeVry. Now how did you get back to Bakersfield?
Well, what ended up happening was I was going through a custody battle with my daughter's mom,
Mm.
and that actually took a pretty big toll on me. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to take a paternity test. Long story short, because she didn't know if
Oh,
our
wow.
daughter was mine or my
Oh,
supposedly
wow.
other friend. Yeah, it was a whole nother ball game. So
Oh,
it
wow.
tore me up to pieces, and then so I ended up moving back over here, and then actually I moved back to Delano because all my family's in Delano at that time. Then I ended up moving back to SoCal after the paternity test. After everything came back, I worked for AAA. I was becoming an insurance agent for AAA, and then I mentally I was clocked out because I'm still going through visitation rides, doing all this stuff.
Yeah, Adlai had to do that stuff.
I did something. Yeah, I went through that. Yeah.
It sucked. And I moved to LA at that time, not knowing a single person. So I'm just like, what, I need to be around family. So then that's when I actually I've always been a fan of Q97, like right when it first came on. And so I like, what, let me try to get in. And yeah, I applied, got the job, and it was just game on. I was loving it.
Yeah, and just for people watching and for Mike too, Q97 was a hip hop station, and it was a dope station. And P95 was the station in Fresno that was kind of the heritage. You could call it the heritage because even when Q97 started out as kind of a adult contemporary first, and then flipped to hip hop and stuff too, right? So Q97, but Q97 was the station, man. It was dope. It had mixers. It was legit. It was like a Power 106. You know what I'm saying? It was sick, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
It was, especially like back then too. You had Latin house that was trending, so it was big among the valley, and it was just, man, it was. Oh man, I miss working with them too because the club accounts, putting on concerts, there was a bunch of stuff going on.
What were some of the cool shows that you put on at that station?
Well, this is when Kanye West put on his first banger Through the Wire, because he's a producer. A lot of people don't even know before that. But there was one of my clients. They actually drew the college dropout, the bear, and so they won it. And so that's how they got Kanye West to Fresno. And so that's how I met Kanye West, got his autograph. He'd come with writers, so make sure he's taken care of. Had him perform at another club right after that. So it was pretty cool.
Dude, what was that like? He actually did a couple songs too?
Yeah, but that fool showed up late, and his writers were crazy even back then.
Really?
Because he just come up, because that's probably what, 02, 03?
Yeah.
2002, 2003. Okay, because college dropout. Yeah.
So one of your clients won the college dropout head. That bear head.
Kanye West had a contest to draw his album. What would be the album cover?
Oh, he
It ended up being the
drew
band.
his head. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so then from that, he introduced you to Kanye and you booked him, or did he owe Kanye? Did Kanye owe him a show because he drew the?
Kanye owed him a meet and greet, and we
Oh.
turned around with the promoters and booked him for the club.
Dude, it's odd that cover that night at the club was $60. It was really weird. I don't know. Dude,
you used to do
that's
that?
crazy.
Chris,
Yeah.
did you used to do that? If you booked an artist at a club you were already doing, did you jack the price up at the door a little bit?
I let my buddies who promote. I just put in money, so I got my cake. They could run everything else.
Dude,
I was
hey,
dealing
Bud
with Kanye
Light-
either way because I'm backstage with them.
I
And
got
Bud
you.
Lights are $17. So I
Yeah.
mean, you
No,
know,
but back in Fresno, they were taxing back then. Imagine the clubs like this is back then. What 2003, 2004? You're looking at $20-$30 just to get in.
wow, which is
Wow.
insane back
Right
then.
from the
dude.
jump, $20-$30 to get in.
Yeah.
Like nobody's there and I'm paying $20-$30.
Yeah.
In Fresno, man,
Yeah.
I'm not paying $20-$30 to go to Fresno, bro.
Hey,
Like,
people were paying it all day long, long lines too.
I think in Tucson when Mike and I were doing clubs, I think Halloween night was maybe 15.
I don't even know if it was 15.
Maybe 50. I'm thinking maybe it was 10, dude. But Fresno
Yeah.
was a part. I don't know if it is now, but back then was a party town, was a
Wow.
club town. You had clubs along the freeway. What was that place? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. But there was a shooting there, but then it closed down. It's kind of outside of Delano, but you had clubs all the way from Delano all the way up to Clovis, which is just north of Fresno. And every night something was cracking.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember the name of the club that you did that Kanye was at?
That was it the Red Room? It was right by Cal State,
Fresno?
Fresno
Wait,
State.
Fresno
Okay.
State, Fresno State.
Adlai, how much is the most you've ever charged at the door before?
Dude, I'm saying when we did not Club
No, you
Chonies,
personally, because with Casadores or whatever.
Casadores was the one where we charged. I mean, when there was a line around the building, you'd bump it up to 20, and then we do an express line for 50.
50? Yeah, Oscar
Yeah.
told me that. Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that. And then you would get like the ballers, the high rollers,
I can
the
see
dealers
dope
will be
boys
doing
like
it, but-
being like, yeah, I'll pay 50. Dope boys will pay 50. 20
Yeah.
in 2020. Yeah, I could see 20 in 2020. 20 in 2002.
That's a lot of money, man.
Bro,
House
I've
parties
turned-
were $2 back
I've
then.
turned around for $5 cover charges with the band. I have. I've been like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
$5?
Yeah, like, dude, I was in St. Louis one time with Brandon, and we were walking up to this bar, and there was this ska band, and they were phenomenal, bro. It was a $5 cover. I turned around. I was like, you know how many bars are on this road, bro? I can have my beer without music. I just kept it pushing, dude. That's how cheap I am.
That was back. I think if I recall correctly, we charged $30 at the door. This is for Kanye. He only had one heater out, but I mean, again,
I'm not mad at you. Yeah, make your money, bro. Like,
How
Well, you're
big? What's the capacity at the red roof, or what was it called? Red room.
It was called the Red Room. That was a long time ago. But the capacity was only like 350 people.
It's not a bad take though if it's packed at $30 a head.
I know.
Woo!
But
he
Did
did it
on the regular.
Like, before it opened.
Oh
nuts.
my gosh, that's crazy. What other spots did you do up there in Fresno? Because Fresno was lit.
We did. So there was Red Room. We did Club Soho. There was one where it was 18 and over upstairs and 21 and over downstairs. I forget that name. It was right by the Fresno Theater.
Oh, see, that's dope.
And then we had Casablanca back then. There was a big promoter from Madera. He had moved into town, opened this big old venue. So we got tied into that one too. He would bring a bunch of like paisa bandas back then and certain artists. I think I forgot the names. There was some big names, bro, and selling out like crazy.
Oh, see, that's dope, dude. The Tower District, that was an area too,
Oh,
right?
there's Tower District too.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah,
club
when you
we
swing
went
a certain
to.
way.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
they'd have beds in the club, like you could chill on beds.
It sounds like they still have beds in the club, Adlai, from what Chris is explaining to us. I don't feel like you want to touch the sheets. There might be
I
a little
know,
sticky.
dude. I'd be scared.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, should I get into the covers or no, dude? That'd be too weird stuff. But dude, and then
Dude,
also,
hold on, Adlai, you're not stuck on this 20 or 30 on the regular, bro. Like, this is blowing my mind. How is this not blowing your mind?
Bro, actually, even on the club that I had, the one with the 18 and over and 21 and over, we charged at the door back then. Like, what was it? Before 11 o'clock, and mind you, 2003, 2004, $10 a head.
Yeah.
After 11, it bumped up to, was it 15 or 20? I can't remember. And people were just paying it all day long. But then they called to get on the guest list. So, you know, you work the door a little bit and then saw some time, then just so you could get more money.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
That was a big old grind back then.
And that, dude, because I believe it because Fresno was like, it was almost like an LA type place.
No, I'm not unbelieving it. I'm remarking at it. You see where I'm going? Like, it's remarkable to me. It's not fictitious to me. It's remarkable to me. I'm jealous of these numbers. These are great numbers.
I got you. But then, because then in Bakersfield, I got here in 2005, and Bakersfield was, I don't know. You had the what's the country one on Rosedale. Oh my gosh, dude!
Rock and
Rodeo. It was kind of. Yeah, you had a Crystal Palace, which was a country spot. You didn't really have a club. Yeah. And then that's when Play 103.9, we started just doing like restaurants and turning them into clubs, which people do everywhere and stuff too. But that's that was the extent of it. But Fresno had clubs. Like Tucson, we had a couple.
I feel like Bakersfield is very unique in the restaurant turning into a club thing. Because like it's not like the Bobby McGee style, right? Where there's a restaurant and a club on the side. Like this is just, we're gonna move the tables and we're gonna let people get it cracking. Like that's a Bakersfield thing, I believe. But Fresno, like, is Fresno by the beach? Is that how it goes? Or why is this town so cracking? I don't get it.
I don't know.
What made you decide to move to Fresno?
Well, when I got hired by Q97, I'm like,
okay. So you put and technically the offices was in Visalia, so so it's like it's Fresno, Visalia, Bakersfield. So you could get from Delano though. It's a half an hour drive to Visalia. So that's not too bad, huh?
Well, I actually had when I got that opportunity, I moved in with my dad. He lives in Visalia, so I moved in with my dad.
Okay.
And then eventually, when my paper was right, that's when I actually got a roommate out there. Right, I lived right across the street from Fresno State too. I had a roommate, roommate right in Fresno. It was cool partying.
So when you were booking clubs, did you just like, was it like, okay, I have a club act that I always know I'm gonna put up, like no matter what, I'm gonna ask these two guys to be the DJs, or how did that, or did the club pick their own DJ, or was it a house DJ? How did this work?
So what I did was typically the actual owners of the clubs would approach me because they knew I was heading with Q97. This is where I get the airplay. This is me soliciting, doing everything, and eventually I established a good name for myself because I was showing up to the clubs myself, make sure everything went good, make sure the DJ's doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Because, there's times the club owners will complain, no, this happened. I'm like, wait a minute, that didn't happen. And I'll quick to call them out. And so what I would do, I'd monitor the DJs too, though. Like, actually, DJ Jess, he came and worked for a couple of races. Okay. I like DJ Jess. I liked his music. Between him and Sergio Roman back in the days, are the two main DJs killing it. And so I booked them first. And then I'd go to the next DJs to see who I felt would fit for that night, that vibe that they're looking for. But those were the two main ones I'd go after, honestly, because I knew they had their following back then too. And they would actually do their own promoting on top of that, where some DJs weren't. So to me, I'm looking at the overall, I got to make the business happy, or the actual business owner happy. Got to make sure the people, they're vibing, the crowd's good. So, overall, I have to look at the overall picture. And that's how to factor into every single one. And then whenever the DJs are booked, then it's like, okay, what other alternatives do I have?
Man, Chris, that's like, I've never thought of the perspective of a good radio salesman. Because I don't know if I've met a good radio salesman before I met you. I'm not going to lie to you. And you know,
met Oscar.
I'm not lying. Once again, Chris. No, I love Oscar.
Shout out to Oscar.
I love Oscar. Oscar's awesome. But Chris, I'm telling the truth because you've been in radio long enough to see those bums that were mad because they didn't make it as disc jockeys. And so they're not taking advantage of the craft of sales. You know what I mean? They're angry because it's like, look, these are all trades and you need to learn these trades and apply these trades well. But a lot of salesmen in radio are bums, man, tomato cans. A lot of them are washed out because they couldn't be DJs. You know what I mean? It's got to be disheartening for you. Does that bother you when you see bums like that when you're selling?
Honestly, I didn't pay attention to no one else but myself and my clients, my customers. I knew my grind. I knew what I was doing. And, there was times, there was club accounts where I knew the DJ was mediocre, so I'd hop on the mic.
Oh.
And I just, right, I'll be telling DJ, throwing ain't no fun. Then I'll just say, I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what I'm saying. These are my accounts. This is what's making me money.
Yeah, definitely.
It's true too. To add to that too, a lot of DJs just really don't like to talk on the mic too.
No.
I've noticed that. We've seen that.
Nah, you better have a good time, bro.
And even
Chris
me, I was
like,
Mike, rock this mic, dude, because I want to focus on the music and whatever too. So it does help.
Wait, what kind of talent fees were these guys getting, Chris?
300 a night.
Including DJing or kind of DJing, hosting, kind of.
No, that's just them DJing. That's just a talent fee, $300.
Okay. Now, did you have a radio personality there too, or was the DJ the radio personality as well?
A lot of the times, Jess, he was good on his own. Get the crowd involved. Sergio Roman too, he do the same thing. So it's always pretty much a DJ.
Are you guys doing live drops or?
Back then, we'd announce it on the radio.
Blow it up.
But other than that, we didn't really do too much. We had the club packages. So X amount of dollars would get you so many ads. And then at lunch, we'll have people call in to get on the guest list. So that'll pump it up even more to prepare for the night. And then we do it in the evening again. And then close out the guest list. But by then, back then, everyone's already waiting in line. I remember that same club with the 18 and over and 21 and over DJ. If you're getting in line, by 10:30, I'm walking up, right? Which is already late for me to show up. I show up actually around 10:30, 11. And it's already like at least a block and a half full of people waiting to get in.
How long did those clubs stay cracking like that?
The whole time I was there, so
man,
4 years.
Yeah.
I wish we would have had a sales manager like this, Adlai. Can you imagine how rich we would have been? Oh my gosh, we would have been so rich. You would have been rich, Chris. We would have made you so rich. I'm telling you, Chino brothers. When we were a club act, bro, we would put that place on fire every single time. The floor would be dripping with sweat.
Chris, we did one of our club nights. The manager hooked us up with, and it was the teen night. And you want to guess how much we made as a talent fee?
200.
We shared $50.
We shared $50, bro.
He's all, hey, we're like, what's the talent fee? He's all $50. We're like, yeah, it's $100. He's all, no. You guys are sharing the $50 talent fee. We're like, what?
Yeah, that's how bad our sales managers were. And we still lit that place up. We still caught that place on fire. And it was a teen night. I was like, I'm not about these teen nights, but it was the nice club. It was the only night we got for the nice club. All the rest of our clubs were
fancy
ratchet.
Part of town.
Yeah. Yeah, all the rest of our clubs were ratchet. So
hey,
Chris,
you
have to get us some better clubs, first of all. And then after that, get us that sweet $300 talent fee, man. That's some Chingo bling right there, man.
Hey, what would you charge a client, like a club, for these remote packages, like a club package?
Club package, I was charging them on a Friday and Saturday night. You're looking at $1,200.
Okay. Plus talent fee.
Huh?
Plus talent fee, right?
Yeah, plus talent fee.
So $1,500 to
That's
have.
like Ganga, bro.
At the end of if you're charging $30 to get in, dude, yeah, you're recouping your $1,200 quick. But man, did you ever have any duds? Like someone came in like, hey, I want to do I don't know, whatever, something like taco joint, and you're like, it's $1,500, homie.
Well, I've had some promoters that they approach me and they're putting on their own gig, but they want to have radio spots. So give them the rates or whatnot and put it on the radio. I'm like, hey, here's what you're gonna get. It's kind of just understand the whole concept. And I explain everything,
right?
Because I've always believed in karma, so I'm gonna make sure, hey, here's what the real deal is. Here's what you're getting. Now it's up to you.
Now,
and then I'll say through my experience is what is. But a lot of the times too, as promoters, you're trying to up and come. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna take that gamble. I'm gonna take that risk. All right, here you go. And there was one. I felt bad. He booked. It was like a 1,200 capacity venue. and he had maybe like 250 people, 300 people.
Yeah, that looks empty.
And he was charging $10. So I'm like, okay. But it was 18 and over, so there wasn't really 21 and over there, and it was just
So no drinking, nobody spending money on booze.
Yeah.
Oof. How long did that last? 2 weeks?
Well, that was a one-time event.
Oh man, dude, I won't feel bad for that dude, bro. Some people aren't supposed to be in the game. Did you have a producer that you would go to cut your spots? Like, did you have a favorite producer that you're like, oh, I know this guy makes real nice spots when?
Yeah, I'd actually Sergio Roman, DJ Sergio Roman. I'd always go to him like, hey, bro, I need this one.
I need. Okay, do you bust a spot out real quick?
Yeah, and then there's times like he'll have me do some voiceovers for him too. So it was cool. We had that good vibe, but normally, typically, like on the club nights, it's normally whoever's the DJ that night is the one doing the commercials for that spot.
Okay. Yeah.
They would do their own production and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. Talented DJs.
Yeah.
I had to produce everything on the radio, bro. It was like, okay. And then I'd be walking out. My radio name was Sketch, Chris. I'd be walking out, right? It'd be like 5:30. I've been there since 5 in the morning. Because I was a morning show producer too, right? Walking out. Then I hear this. Sketch. Oh my God. Because I knew what it was. And then our radio or our sales manager, he wasn't cool at all, dude. Potato head. And he'd be like, listen, I don't want you using the same beats you've been using every time. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Like nobody even wants to voice these things. My voice is on every commercial, man. This is bad. Dude, could you imagine how rich we would have made Chris Adlai? We would have made this man so much effing money, dude. Oh my gosh, dude.
Man.
You'd already be retired if you had the Chino brothers. Love of God.
Well, you know, I was telling D-Lady this too, because the strategy I would have was we'd figure out which artist is up and coming. They're having this one hit that's a banger right now. As they're making their way, we're trying to catch them. So we'll pay, it's lesser fees for us on the riders. Make sure we get in touch with the radio station. I'm working for the radio station. I'm doing the sales. Talk to the producer or PD and be like, hey, who's coming in? Around what time? Boom. And we just start planning for it. And then that's how our overhead costs will be a lot lesser. We're throwing money. The radio station is making money because now we got the radio ads, the sales, and everything. And overall, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, so you got some up and coming artists. They're
radio
singles starting to bubble.
Well, that's how I got Rihanna when she had Pon the Replay.
You had Rihanna come through?
Yeah. But I got mad at her. I to this day I still I can't really say
that. Yeah, we want to hear it.
Back then though, so we booked her. She agreed to 4 songs, and she lip synced 2 of them, and did like a half-ass on one of them and sang one full one. I'm like, dude, we paid you.
That you paid them? This wasn't a radio presser?
No, this was as a promoter. We paid.
Okay. So you covered some, but it was still on the promotional tip, like via the label and stuff. But you still had to pay her. Was it a discounted rate?
Yeah. It was on the promo tip.
Okay, but you still had to pay her and stuff too. How packed was it?
Maybe this was at the Red Room. This was, I think, it was about 250 people.
She only had that one banger at that time. But that was a good song.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
Just starting her career.
That one, come on, Mr. DJ, go and turn the music up. That one?
No, yeah.
That's popular.
That song was a banger. Yeah.
It was a good song. Yeah. That's crazy though. Did you get a picture with her?
No, that one. I was mad. I was mad at her.
Wait, so now I'm having a hard time understanding how you're booking these shows, because initially I just thought that these were all like record label shows. Like, you know how the record label will send them throughout the country from station to station, and it's a 4-song concert for X amount of spins. Adlai says that never happened, so plug your ears, Adlai. But it wasn't that scenario. You guys were paying booking fees and stuff like that?
I don't want to get into trouble or anything.
Oh, okay. So nobody believes in payola anymore. All right, folks, never mind. Just erase your mind from anything I just said.
I mean, that was my business. My thing was I did sales, my regular job. I having to get sales. Got to sell the ads. I was paying.
I got you. So in other words, you're like, look, bro, I put some money in. Wherever it goes, I don't know. No, I'm not looking around. Okay.
I sell commercials.
I need some money back. That's all I'm saying. Is that how you kept it? Because that's how I'll keep it if I was a sales guy. when you're on the other side of it and you're watching it go on, it looks so weird. You're like, man, I know this isn't supposed to be going on. If you can keep your hands clean and be like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's sweet. That'd be dope.
No, it was so. I mean, I would tie in when I knew things were happening. I tie in with the promoters. That so everything, we'll come in as a team. Still had the legit business and everything, and then we just figured all out the cost and everything, and we just all put it in, chip in, and did what we had to do.
Okay. Those are big names, dude. Rihanna, Kanye.
Yeah, but catching them on the way up, that's the smart part.
That's it's timing.
Was that your best catch? Was Rihanna?
Yeah, actually, I know we booked Young Jock too. I had a Young Jock.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
okay.
That's impressive.
We had 112.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's big. Okay, yeah.
They're on my Facebook. They're all old pictures, all blurry. But
I
still have them. I actually have the autographs too. With Kanye,
I never met 112, so God bless you, man.
Cool. Yeah, it's really
Even if somebody drew a picture with their hand, I'd be impressed, Chris.
Yeah, they were cool. Boyz II Men was really cool too.
You did Boyz II Men?
That's huge.
Yeah. Wow, that is big.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. And that was at Red Room?
Huh?
Was that Red Room?
No, those were actually at the Sorian Theater at Fox Theater. The actual concert.
Okay, that's a decent size venue.
Bring artists here, you have artists over here.
Yeah, dude. So how did dude? You're balling, you're making money, you got club gigs, chicks probably going crazy, and then you end up in Bakersfield. Am I missing a step, or did that happen?
No. So actually, what ended up happening was after Q97. I was missing my daughter. I was getting tired of seeing her every other weekend. I'm like, no.
How old was she at this time?
She's 3.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh man,
it's tough at any age. But
so because every other weekend I'm driving to LA that Friday, coming straight back, and doing the same thing that Sunday.
Holy cow!
So I was doing that, and because I'm like, that's my daughter. There's no way I'm not going to be a part of her life. And so I was like, I need to move back to LA. So I moved back to LA, tried my hardest back then, though. It was kind of hard going from having to pay $800 in child support every month, and we're back in 2004 to where I'm looking for a job to make what I'm used to making. And the court system saying, nope, since you're used to this, you should be able to make that. I'm like, nope, it's not happening. Here's where I apply.
Yeah.
So then I ended up moving back, but that's when the GM put a good word for me, and so that's how I ended up at Buckley. Well, it was Buckley overall, but I ended up at Groove.
Oh, okay. You were at Buckley. Okay, that's where I'm at now, which is now Alpha. But okay, you worked there at Buckley, and that was Kelly.
I was selling Kelly and Groove back then at KMZR, and then that's when was it the Wave, or I forgot what it was, but
there was a 4th station.
Yeah,
that sounds right. And they sold it to someone in like Lancaster or something, right?
It was like contemporary, like real or elevator music, like real.
Okay. Huh. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, I remember Kelly. That which was smart, which is what we call it. Was the agent that went after and launched another radio station to go after Kelly's listeners.
Yeah.
That was very
smart. Oh, dude, yeah. So you were there at the time too, and then this artist still came through then too, though, right? Because Megan Trainor came through.
Yeah,
that was huge.
But I wasn't really, I guess, because I didn't stay there long, to be honest. I did make the tie-in though between, because I was thinking, I was really active back then with the Kern County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I made the connection between the Groove and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce,
which is very strong right now.
That's real cool.
Yeah. Strong relation. Shout out to Jay Tamsey. Yeah.
Shout out to Jay. But yeah, this was Jay Tamsey was a board member at the time too. I remember I was with her. I was constantly involved because that was me networking. I'm always constantly grinding, constantly out there, just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and to see them grow from back then, because that was the 3rd year they did it, and I remember that. And
is this a Menudo Fest? Are you talking about Menudo Fest? Menudo Fest?
Yeah, the Menudo Cook-Off?
Yeah.
So that was cook-off,
yeah.
I mean, it's good to see how long that relationship has lasted to this day.
22 years. The last one we just did a couple months ago with Club Nouveau.
That is impressive.
Fact, yeah.
That is impressive.
That's
cool. Really cool, Chris. Yeah. So how do you end up at Play?
I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. So there's a new station in town. Let me go over there. Let me see. And so that's how I ended up with Play. I Play, and You know, it's crazy, man. Because
Are you doing? What are you doing? Are you scratching? You got mosquito bites or what, dude?
No, it's
What's
my,
going on down
my
there?
dog over here. Look at it. I'll show you guys.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, what is
there,
he
there he
itching?
is. What's up?
Oh, nice.
What's up,
My big
Pooch?
over.
I was wondering. I was like, is
yeah,
he? Okay.
I ended up at play, and you know, it's crazy. Oh man, what I talk about? Remember how we're not accepted being mixed and all that?
Yeah.
So I had to sell La Campesina too.
The
And-
Spanish station. You sold.
Yeah, the Spanish station. So you know, the Spanish that I knew, no, stop. It's what I taught. I learned myself.
Okay.
When I go out
Okay.
there, sell. That's my job. And man, there's times, you know, I'm just doing my job, and they'll be like, "Yeah, come back when you speak Spanish fluently. Then I'll do business with you. Until then, don't bother."
Yeah.
I ran into that quite a bit.
And play was still new.
Yeah.
Tough to sell. Period. Because we didn't really have ratings until they turned us off. We had actually really good ratings when they turned us off. But yeah, play was a tough sell too, man, in the beginning. Because I remember when I came in there in 05, it was really, for lack of a better word, pretty gutter and music wise and stuff too. And it was that format that like keeping it grimy or whatever. So, but it was almost, I don't want to sound mean or nothing, but it sounded like, I mean, you'd have so much music in there. It'd be hard to get anything familiar. So it was tough. So I felt your pain back then, man, when it came up, because people, when you go in and say, "Oh, I'm over at play," they're like, "Yeah," you know, they'd be like,
Hey,
"Oh,
but when
okay."
Paco got there and he became the program director, didn't he just start putting on some good bumps?
He started getting it back to, it seemed like it. He started getting things back together because Paco was the PD when you were there, right, Chris?
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
He's a good program director. Like, as much, I'll tease Paco and I'll bag on him for a million things, but his music selection, I can't imagine he'd be gutter. He didn't make it more like churban.
I wonder if that was, I don't know, because I remember when I got there was like 20 people on the programming play staff, and the first or second day, Paco's like, "Hey, Adlai, I got to go to a meeting up at corporate. Can you fire these 10 people?" And I'm like, "What?" So I don't know if you remember that, because there was like Dirty Sanchez, there was Mingo, there was Chewy, there was Moni, the one and only. There was a ton of people. Do you remember all those people?
No, honestly, I was just
trying to sell.
yeah, just trying to sell, just looking at the ratings, trying to understand my angles when it comes to the customers, how it's going to benefit them. That's all I worried about. Just like when, do you remember when we got you guys booked Pitbull, because I was there. I have a picture with them.
I think that was right before I got there, because that was at Mercado Latino, right?
Yeah, that was at Mercado Latino.
Yeah, I got there maybe a month or two after, and that was an outdoor venue, and there was a couple thousand people there. I mean, it was big. That
was a Proud Entertainment joint, though, dude. Oscar did that.
Proud Entertainment was a couple years later at the Nile, the indoor venue. That was the Proud Entertainment one.
Oh,
and there were, I don't know if this was the same time, but at Casadores we had Pitbull have tacos with Pitbull. That might have been the same day. I can't remember though, if he was just cruising through. You remember that, Chris? And it was at Casadores, and there was like 20 people there.
I don't, to be honest. I just like, yes, I got my picture with Pitbull. All right, I'm out here.
yeah. But this show's more about Chris, so I don't want to take away from that.
Yeah.
Because then after that, now you work at Play, and then you're kind of doing your thing there. Is this when you're like, you know what, I'm going military?
No, and Rick, while you guys were talking, I was actually retracting how we did it. We didn't pay the label tours. What we did was, the promoters, when I got a heads up on when the artist is going to come into town, I went straight to the promoter, my other buddies, the promoters. I'm like, "Hey, coming in, let's create the flyers. We'll run promo ads, and then we get the door."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, that's not shady.
It was a station night, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
But we should be doing that here in town. I mean, think about it. That's really, especially Bakersfield's issue for entertainment. This is why every concert anyone throws right now is going to hit.
Yeah, and these little artists like Kanye and Rihanna, they got to pay their dues.
Exactly. So finest Kanye and Rihanna. I heard of this U2 band also. I don't know if they're any good, but
got to pay your dues, man. That's part of it.
All right, so how do you end up in the military, Chris?
So actually, after like I'm seeing our play, I launched my own bilingual publication out in Delano. So all the articles were in English, and one side the other articles are in Spanish. We did a lot of community, a lot of PR. It was doing really good. My business partner was my best friend at the time. Like, you know what? We're doing good. I go, before I get too old, I still want to serve my country on the front line. So when I signed up for the Army, enlisted as an airborne infantryman.
Wow. And
Respect,
how old were you
dude.
at that point?
27.
27. Wow.
Older cat going in, dude.
I
Yeah, we were
know.
talking about that yesterday in the test. But all these 18-year-olds coming up, dude, and you were maintaining with them.
Oh yeah, that was my goal. Right when I went in, I'm like, I'm gonna beat out all these young bucks. Let's go.
Doing all the obstacle courses, beating them and everything, and hanging and all that, huh?
Yeah, because that's just me though. Again, growing up short, I had to prove myself. So I'm like, hey, let's go. My 2 miles sucked when I first started. I think it was like 18 minutes or something. But by the end of boot camp, because I kept pushing myself, I got down to 12 minutes and 34 seconds. My 2 miles.
For 2 miles, 12 minutes. Oh my gosh, dude. So, and you were in Afghanistan. You did a tour in Afghanistan too.
Yeah, I was in Afghanistan.
Thank you for your service, bro.
2010.
Oh my gosh, dude. And it was heated back then too, huh?
Yeah, I was. I don't know if I think I explained this to you back when. I don't know if you remember, but there was a prisoner of war that got caught. Bird Dog. He got caught by Taliban, and this is when Obama traded like 8 higher ups for him. But I was a part of the initial search and rescue for him.
Holy cow.
That's crazy, dude. That's a movie right there. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude. That's insane, dude. Yeah. Okay. And then after that, you're in for a few years.
Yeah.
And then you come out, and is this when like the clothing thing started and the gym thing started?
Somewhat. So, for me, I had to stay fit. I'm like, you know what? I love working out. And I was honestly, I was bored. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do free boot camps in Delano. So I offered free boot camps, and then my best friend, like, he started doing some. Actually, no, I take that back. My friend, because I was working out, and we're selling like, you know, home-based business, selling, what is it, Visalis, like a meal replacement.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we offered free boot camps as long as you purchased them every month. And so at one time I had a good 100 people at any given time per boot camp.
wow.
That's a pretty good deal, though. All I got to do is order this food that's got to be good for me because the buff guy's telling me to do it. And then I get to work out with him for free. That's a pretty good deal, don't you think, Adlai?
Yeah, because you got to eat and then you maintain the workout. One thing I do now that I just thought of right now. One thing I got to complain about, Chris.
What's that?
I thought you were going to do this interview with your shirt off. I'm kind of.
I'm out of shape. I'm really like 1 week into working out again.
Dude, so where would you do these boot camps at? Just at the park or what?
Yeah, at the park.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just post up and be like, all right, guys, we're going to get started. And
Yeah.
Did you ever see like fat people start vomiting and stuff or what?
There was some that were, you know, everyone starts somewhere. So I just go and encourage them.
I like how Chris
That's
is
cool, though.
so positive about it, where I'm like ready to bag on these people. He's just being super nice. Like, well,
That was me at boot camp throwing up in the army. Like, I remember at one time at the end, because I always push myself because that's the way you improve. You sprint like the last 100 meters, right? And I remember this one time I'm sprinting, and it's right before the end too. And I just get lightheaded. I go, "Ugh," and I just fell. I didn't even cross the line.
Holy cow.
Paul Blart, Mall Cop, when he falls, I don't know if you see that movie, but he falls right before the finish line.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, like, get out. Like, all right, Roger.
Chris, you are far more motivated than I am. I promise you that, dude. So don't feel bad about vomiting in boot camp because I don't know.
Oh
if
yeah, no question, dude. And dude, I'm just thinking that's pretty inspirational. You got 100 people at these boot camps just out in the park in Delano, and they're coming through, and you had to see some transformation. And dude, that's
huge.
I feel like
a lot of huge transformations. I loved it.
Yeah, even on social media, I remember you'd post stuff about health or whatever, and it would just be this huge engagement. People just like, oh man, yeah, this is so dope. Yeah, you know, I'm losing weight. I'm doing the meal prep. Like, I mean, people loved that stuff.
Dude,
and you were
why didn't
just
you turn yourself into like? Why didn't you turn yourself into like some sort of Jack LaLanne type of fella, Chris? Like, I'm being honest, Adlai. Don't you think like he could be? You know, you go out, you give a speech. I'll even write it for you because you got to say mean things, dude. It's just how it goes. If you want to be popular, you got to say mean things. So I'll write you a speech. You go out. Hey, fatties. All you fatties out there, you ain't getting no chicks, huh? Look at this. And then you take your shirt off, show them your muscles like this, like that. Listen, you sissies, I fought in this man's army so that you can eat them Cheetos, or we can get to work. And then you'll be big like Andrew Tate, bro. I mean, I'll blow you up like Andrew Tate, dude. Like you'll be so big. But then after that, then you do like a Tony Robbins thing. You just like go around the country and just tell people about how you exercise. What do you think of my scam, Adlai? Isn't this a good idea?
Dude, that'd be great. Yeah, Chris, you should do that, man. Like for real. Because your workout stuff, dude, your thirst traps, as they say. Your pictures with your shirt off, and then
I'm proud of myself right now, being 42. I'm like, man, I have a lot of health conditions. You know, this is when actually having the boot camps. That's when I truly made a name for myself in the fitness industry. And that's when I opened up my own private gym after here in Bakersfield, and I was competing on a national level. I have trophies. I was sponsored by a couple of companies. I had online clients, and then I had my own personal boot camps at my gym. I had my personal one-on-ones. I'm making a good old living. Yeah. And then my hernia that I got in Afghanistan had erupted internally.
Oh.
And then so I ended up having surgery for that. Then they found another hernia on the opposite side of my pelvic. And then when I was recovering, they found another hernia in my umbilical area. And that's when the doctor's like, no more, you can't work out. So I woke up just like that, saying no more.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Because you were working out, doing the boot camps, doing the meal prep, and then Go Hard clothing line.
Yeah.
So all these things are bringing in income.
Yeah, I made honestly a really good living and doing what I love, my passion, my stress reliever. So imagine doing radio right now, saying, you know what, you're waking up tomorrow, you ain't got no voice.
Right, oh, man, right, yeah, it would be crushing,
horrible,
dude.
Yeah.
It tore me up. It tore me up, and I've been battling my own health conditions since too, and I stood away from the fitness industry. I was really depressed. After that, honestly, that's when I was just trying to find myself. Like, man, what's next? So I'm dabbling into different industries, and I finally just gave in. I accepted it. I'm like, you know what? All right, it is what it is, and started working out again. Then next thing you know, I got a slip disc and a partial tear in my lower back.
Oh man.
Then I had a cast recently, broke that. So this is barely my first week back into the gym right now.
Really? Okay.
Right.
Man, that's a tough.
From a guy who's a lot older than you, Chris, I'm gonna give you a little advice, and you can take it or not, and I don't care. Red light therapy works wonders, man. I use that red light therapy. I love it. That's first. And then second, I use a rebounder and a kettlebell. That's it. Rebounder.
What you eat.
What's that? Yeah, and you got to eat. You got to eat right. You got to like I fast 3 days a week.
See, that's bad for you.
Well, works for me.
It works.
Yeah, I lost a crap ton of weight, and I have a lot more energy. And actually, I know my body better.
No, that's good. And that's why I tell people too. You got to use what's best for you.
Yeah.
There's everybody's body's different. I mean, yeah, you can break it down to straight science. What I like to do is I'm gonna take the longer way approach by eating. It's harder, but you're more apt to keep the weight off.
When you fast and it's not like a fad. Like I've been doing it for like 4 years. The day after your fast, when you break your fast, you want to eat really nutrient foods because your body's been in autophagy for 24 hours. So like if you're just like, I'm going to fast for a couple months and try to lose weight for my high school reunion, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. But like if it's part of your lifestyle, if it's like, no, man, 3 days a week, I don't eat. Those are the days that I've chosen to fast. And I used to fast religiously, but I don't like this, like how I fast now is not like a spiritual thing. But it definitely, like, you can feel the autophagy where, like, when you lose the weight, you don't have the dead skin because your cells are eating themselves. So because they still want their protein.
Well, that's the thing too. So you have, I'll give an example in regards to that. You're right, because that's where you attack the body fat. But it's like what I tell people. Think about this: people will try all these different fat diets, right?
Yeah.
And yes, they work. They lose weight real quick. But the minute they stop, they gain that weight back and some.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they never overall changed their healthy eating habits.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. My process, yes, is going to take longer. It depends on my clients and their individual goals, and how disciplined they are. Me, I'm just straight to the point. Like, I just had my meal. I actually had a couple of slices of pizza a bit ago, but earlier, like, my other meals are just straight clean. I don't use seasoning. If I use seasoning, it's Miss Dash. Because the sugar and the sodiums are what you really got to look after. And that's what makes your fat. That's the unhealthy part, but which causes the weight gain. But that's what makes your food taste good. So that's why it's easy for people to get in.
That's tough, dude. That's tough. Hey, what was the success rate when people were in your program?
Oh man, I'll put it to you like this. I would say personally 100%, simply because if I would cancel my clients if I felt they were pushing themselves.
Okay.
The contract.
Yeah.
I go, because they would represent me, because people are gonna ask them, oh, what gym? Or they're posting, oh, what gym do they go to? And they're not losing any weight or anything. That's gonna make me look bad. So I call them out.
True.
I'm like, you know what? No. I go, come back when you're serious.
Wow.
Did anybody cry?
There was some that cried, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I told them too, I go, look, but see, that's what I'm saying 100%, because they also learned that later on they run into me. You're right. Oh,
Yeah.
I go, it's not me being a dick. I go, excuse my bad word. I go, but it's me because I care. I go, if you want a trainer that doesn't care, go to InShape, go to Body Exchange. They don't care. They see you money for them. But I'm the one who actually cares.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that, dude. People really respected you, because you definitely transformed a lot of people's lives. And real quick, say what's up to DJ Prospect, another Delano
Prospect,
homie.
what up, man?
What up?
So, hey, Chris, let me ask you this. So what do you make of this new modern fad? Everybody's trying to do this body positivity stuff where they try to act like being big is still as good looking as being thin and in shape. How does that strike a fellow like yourself? Because you put a lot of work into it, man.
It's honestly, I don't care. It's a matter of, I'm at the point in my life. So in the past 3 years, I've lost 15 people.
Oh,
out of the 15 people, I'm gonna get serious real quick. Out of the 15 people, 13 people passed away due to mental health.
Oh,
So every 3 months, I'm losing someone, including two of my best friends. So I'm all about doing what makes you happy. Forget everybody else. Life is too short. Especially the pandemic, it affected a lot of kids, a lot of families.
yeah.
Spousal abuse rates went up, alcoholism went up.
Yeah.
All these stats. And I said this right before right when the pandemic hit. I said, we're going to have a bigger issue with mental health. And look at where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It's affected, especially our youth, in so many ways. So I'm all about whatever makes you happy. I personally don't care. I'm just trying to be happy myself. Like I'm doing what's happy. I'm finally happy. I had to accept a lot of the losses, but I'm finally doing what makes me happy. I have my health. I'm working out now, which is a good part of my life, my stress reliever. I'm just pushing through my own pain, but it's whatever makes people happy. And then you have people who they go for different things too, So it's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm just too focused on my goals and my own mindset right now. Like, I don't care what other people think. As long as I continue to do good and help people out, I'm cool with myself.
That's pretty good, man. I like that. But once again, get back to what I'm saying. I'm serious. A kettlebell and a rebounder, bro. Because them knees, they start to hurt when you start getting in your late 40s. So if you're on the rebounder, you got that nice, it's a nice trampoline. Get a good cardio workout from it. And then the kettlebell. You done kettlebells before, haven't you, Chris? Or no? Yeah, real nice on your joints. Real nice on your joints. You know what I mean? So I could be wrong, though. I'm not a physical therapist. My wife is. I should ask her.
That works. You gradually break into it. If you're just overall trying to be healthy and fit and look better, feel better about yourself, other than nutrition, full body workouts are the way to go.
Yeah.
Do I have to? Can I skip leg day?
A lot of people do. I don't.
Just kidding.
I mean, the thing you got to think about, Adlai, at our age is the reason why you want to be exercising and pushing and like having some form of weight training, including even if it's your body training. Dude, our bones are going to start getting brittle here coming up unless in your 50s you're pushing weight. But the thing is our joints are giving out. That's why I like the kettlebell. You know what I mean? Like, and then when it comes to diet, my diet's not the best, Chris, but I eat a lot of sprouts. I try to keep my greens. I love my greens, like my microgreens and stuff. Yeah. And then I avoid fast food. But at nighttime, bro, when it's just me and the wife and the kids are in bed, I'm sorry, man. All bets are off, man. Mr. Doritos is calling me. Mr. Cheetos is calling me.
That's the worst time to eat, too.
Mr. Puffs is calling me. Me and my wife, it's like we're on a date, bro. Every night I get to go out with the prettiest girl I know from 10 to midnight. and then we're just eating our Cheetos and whatnot, watching TV. Oh, it's heaven, bro. If I lose 10 years of my life because of that, it was worth it. It's kind of like when I used to smoke cigarettes. Remember that, Adlai? You smoked cigarettes?
Yeah. I smoked for a little bit, yeah.
They'd say, hey, man, every time you smoke a cigarette, it takes 5 minutes of your life. And you say, well, it takes 7 minutes to smoke a cigarette, so I'm cheating death by 2 minutes. I'll enjoy it.
You know, speaking of which, because, you know, when I was in the Army, I picked up smoking when I was in the Army. I'm tired, running mission after mission, and then having to pull security late at night where I just got to smoke. I got something to keep me up. So I smoke. And people would tell me too, when I have my gym and everything, they go, why do you preach about being healthy, but yeah, you smoke? I go, you know what? My body got acclimated to it. A lot of people's body, it gets acclimated. Just like I was stationed in Alaska. Yeah, it gets negative degrees, but your body gets used to it. Just like over here, the heat, you get used to it. Just when it gets winter, you get used to it. And so my body got used to smoking too. And I would tell them too, every one of my clients, whenever they challenge me, I go, you know what? I go, let's run 2 miles. And after I beat you, I'm going to smoke another cigarette. I go, you want to bet? I go, now you owe me 100 push-ups or 100 burpees. They wouldn't take me on. But I tell them too, and people would tell me too, they're like, oh, smoking, like being out and about. When I would smoke, people would be like, oh, that's bad for you. I go, yeah, so is that fast food restaurant that I just seen you coming from. I go, I go, because the number one cause of death is diabetes. And guess what? Wow. There's big pharma making that money.
Yeah, no more fast food for me. And actually, it was crazy because I gave it up at pandemic because I wasn't sure what was going on, you know. But I agree with you with that mental health thing. But like everybody's like spray down your groceries and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, if my groceries can give it to me, then I know this kid working at Wendy's is definitely going to give it to me because they hire the ghettoest kids at that Wendy's, man. I ain't eating none of this Wendy's. So I stopped, right? And then I was like, man, I ain't going to no sit-down restaurant because none of this made sense to me. It's like, oh, you wear a mask. Okay, all right. So he's wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. That'll stop us. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, come into our restaurant. All right, well, how am I going to eat? Well, you take your mask off. I'm like, no, man, I ain't going to your restaurant. Are you out of your mind? So at that point, I had to learn how to cook because I was already like when I was young, I was so poor, right? And then finally, when I got older, like into my 40s, I started making decent money. And then I have a family. So I'm like, I'm going to take you guys out to eat all the time because I didn't get to when I was a kid. So we're always go to a nice restaurant. Bro, once that lockdown happened, I'm like, I don't care when you open these. And we opened them relatively soon in Pittsburgh. And I was like, I'm not going. So I had to learn how to cook. So I started watching Google Foods on YouTube. I started getting real nice with the steaks. And I started getting real nice with the ahi. Then that's where it gets expensive is when you start getting into the fish. But if you can do it, you're good. You know, you start getting into ceviche, all this stuff. That's when it gets expensive, Adlai, because you start daydreaming about different things. And you're not going to get them at Ralph's. You know what I mean? You're going to go to the actual, I'm going to the fish market or I'm going to the butcher. And that's where they fleece you. But you love your family, so you want to make it taste delicious. So that's where I am on my journey, bro. Like I'm not like them snacks. I don't know. It's just something like it makes me feel happy with my wife because it's like a sign of not poverty. There's weird signs of not poverty I have, like owning too many tennis shoes, owning too many ball caps. It's like, man, nobody gives a crap how many tennis shoes you own, Mike. I'm like, yeah, but I do because I'm not poor anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like in Afghanistan. Over there, the sign of wealth or to show that you're wealthy was that you were overweight. You had a big belly because you can afford the food.
Oh.
But see, we were out in the middle of nowhere, so people are still living. This is back in 2009, straight living in mud homes, no electricity, straight mud homes.
Woo. Hey, back to the meal thing, Chris. What was your meal prep? Like, what was a basic meal? Plain chicken?
It depends on if I was.
It doesn't
honestly, a lot of it's repetitious. It was repetitious.
Oh man!
But it depends. Like if right after a competition, bro. I'd be eating pizza.
So before the competition, it's chicken and broccoli.
Adlai's asking what those boxes you were getting that you sold people. What did that have in it? What kind of meal prep was that?
No, I prep my own meals for me.
But what kind of food was in it?
On average, if I'm trying to put on lean mass, lean ground beef, white rice, brown rice.
No, but what about the meal prep you sold, Chris? Isn't that how you got these people into the boot camp? You sold them a meal prep?
No, it was a meal replacement, a milkshake.
Oh, a milkshake.
Oh, was it that Beachbody stuff?
Yeah, it was called Visalis. It was like Beachbody, but
okay.
Oh, okay.
And then
I
I'll
was
just
wondering
tell them,
about
okay,
that.
stick to this veggie, stick to this protein, eat. So here's a basic analogy that I give everyone.
Here comes boring food, Adlai.
Because this is really the concept. Think about it. When we're kids, we're those of many people who are blessed on average are eating at 5 times a day, not realizing that. You're having breakfast, then you're snacking, then you're having lunch, then you're snacking, then you're having dinner. So if not even all 5, you're having 4 meals. Think about it mentally, right?
Okay.
But then you're active, you're playing out in the street. Well, at least back then we played out in the streets. I don't know about nowadays anymore. But
There's a lot of fat kids nowadays, bro. I'm
That's
not
so
gonna lie to you. There's a
there's
lot
so
of
many.
fat kids nowadays because they play that video game.
it's so, but you're not realizing it, but you're burning a lot of calories because you're being active, right? Now, as we get older, we're eating lesser and we're becoming less active, hence the weight gain. So the main objective is to get back to that, eating more to reboost your metabolism.
Like more often.
Yeah, more often to reboost your metabolism, and then becoming more active to offset those calories too, the calorie intake.
Yeah. So, but healthy wise, it's plain lean ground beef and rice.
And rice, that was me. That was on the weight gain. Then I switched over to chicken and steaks, and then because I need
Okay, that doesn't sound that bad.
And then I switched to tilapia.
Chicken and steaks and tilapia, but what's the side? What's the side? It's gonna be some sort
Mac
of
and cheese.
No.
No mac and cheese.
Nope. So check this out. I'm sure my old trainer's gonna see this, but I knew. So I'm very disciplined. I'm very strict. Once I set my mind to something, I go with it. So when it came to me and preparing for a competition, I knew when I was ahead, so I'll just be at the bars drinking. So like, I don't care. And then then I wake up like, okay, I get a little bit. Let me go back to work now.
Oh my gosh, dude! Because you didn't have a problem losing weight. Yours was gaining weight. That was your problem, right?
Yeah.
Gaining mass, right? Okay.
Gaining mass. But that took me the long. It sucked. Like I was eating 7 times a day, and I'm barely putting on mass.
Holy crap, dude. Okay.
I was just, and that's what sucked because I had to force feed myself, and I'm already bloated and full. I'm like, no, I got to do it.
Because you'd burn it at the gym though, pretty quick. Yeah, okay.
What about just using steroids, dude? That makes it easier. Eating all the time. Wait.
No, you know the irony of that. It's funny because people will say that too. I go, I've never seen a person who takes steroids and they put on a big muscle mass without eating healthy, without working out.
Yeah, but they got man boobs after. You get man boobs and your newt strength, dude. Right? I mean,
I can't say.
Yeah, you gotta wear a bra, dude. If you don't,
I know I gotta wear one. All
right. Man. So from what we're understanding from this interview, Adlai, going forward, chicken and broccoli for you every meal,
and broccoli,
and you'll be fine throughout your.
No. There's
every once in a while you can have a teaspoon of beer if you're
I know. Check this out. So they call it a beer belly, not a whiskey belly. So drink whiskey, not beer.
Oh. What about tequila?
And tequila is a lot better. That's
what I drink. I drink tequila. But you don't like the fasting idea.
No.
Why?
You think it's again, it goes back to those fat diet concept.
No, but if this is my lifestyle now, though, this is my lifestyle. This isn't a fad anymore. Like there's no fad for me. I'm for the rest of my life, I will not eat 3 days a week. And it doesn't bother me.
Well, that's good. It works for you.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying health-wise, like you have an issue. You don't like that. Is that why? Why? Because is it just the fat thing that bothers you about it, or is it like a health thing?
I see it as we all pick our poison. We do what makes us, happy, feel better about ourselves. Now, you're right in a sense, your body gets acclimated to it too. So if it's working out for you, there's people though who will start out on it. And then they eventually look at the people who have the liposuction or the tummy tuck.
No, I don't disagree. If it's a fad, it doesn't matter. You can exercise and you can eat 2,000 calories of lean meat and whatever. And if that's a fad for you, it's not going to last no matter what. I mean, heck, look at the celebrities who've been jacked and then are no longer jacked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I also agree that if it's a hack, hacks don't work either because the people that get the gastric bypass, the worst thing you can see, and this is very sorrowful, and it happens when someone gets that gastric bypass and then puts it back on. because then they still can't eat as much, but they're eating a bunch of unhealthy stuff, which is making them put it on. So they're not even enjoying the food, and they're not skinny anymore. Like that I understand where it's like,
and you know the irony of that, with all respect to those who've done it, the doctors actually put them on a diet. They have to lose weight in order to have the surgery. So it's like, why continue on that path and do it anyway, so you don't have to do this surgery?
That's crazy.
You know, it's and then doctors too. Another selling point on doctors, where when people they have the excess skin, and I get it to an extent, but I've had clients in my past where they've told me the doctors have told them you have to have surgery to get rid of it. And I'm like, no, you can actually attack your body fat. It's going to be a strong, hard process, but you can do it. And there's a right way to do it. But everyone just wants things now. This is America.
No, you have to burn it as excess calories, Adlai. So it's autophagy. When eventually your dead cells will be eaten by your live cells if you starve them because
it's a fight or flight type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's like when you fast 3 days a week. When I started fasting and I lost all that weight, I didn't have like a weird tongue fat belly like hanging over. I didn't have any excess skin, nothing. Even my arms looked like I was always this weight. Like everything just went to beep, like my neck's not weird, nothing, because the cells actually eat themselves. But Chris is right. This is discipline. So even like I'll say this, Chris. So I'm not as disciplined as you are. Like I enjoy food so much. But at the same time, the discipline of fasting, there are times when you're like,
that's the tough. That's a mental.
There's times when it's 11 and you're like, I could cheat this week. I've been so good for the whole month and I've been doing double workouts and da. And then you're just like, all right, no. And you got to pray through it, or you got to I'll watch competitive eating because it makes me disgusted. Like I'll see them like stuffing too much. Like it doesn't look fun. It's like, it's so disgusting. I don't want nothing to do with it. So.
Speaking of which, you can do that too. You overkill it. I did that with my ex. She liked hot Cheetos. So for Valentine's Day, I got her 12 bags of hot Cheetos and I put them in the shape of a heart on my bed. She ate them every day to where she couldn't
romantic.
I was like, I need a break.
She ate them every day till she broke up with him. She's like, this is why I'm breaking up these hot Cheetos, man. Come on. All right, Adlai, you got some news for us, man. So Chris, we always end the show with a little bit of news. Adlai's going to read us a story. I'll make fun of the person. You're more than welcome to join me making fun of the person. But since you're the guest, you get to pick the story. So Adlai is going to tell you some stories and you get to pick. Go ahead, Ad.
All right, so I'm going to throw a couple titles at you, a couple headlines. Researchers claim that bachelorette parties are ruining LGBTQ plus safe spaces. Marshawn Lynch his video where he got arrested shows cops forcibly removing him from the car. Britney Spears lawyers rip Kevin Federline as feud over kids escalates. I got to do a couple more. Let's see. Or Neo says, Ice-T let me squeeze Coco's booty one time.
What do you saw that Mace story?
The Mace one? Oh, Mace on death row?
Yeah.
Did we already cover that? Or is that?
No.
Oh, we didn't cover that. I can find it. And then this one says, I just lost it on him. A man clubs suspect who tried to steal his catalytic converter. And then I'm going to find that Mace one while you're kind of thinking about those different ones.
Which one do you like, Chris?
So what are we going to do? Rag on the topic?
No, yeah. So he's going to tell us the story, and then we'll just talk about the story. So which one of those stories do you like?
Oh.
This is called entertainment news, Chris. You've been in the radio business a while. You should know.
So I just want to put a disclaimer. My opinions are strictly my opinions, and no one else.
Not that.
They ain't my opinions, man.
Not that a precious or incorporated radio.
Let's do the first one. Let's get really.
You want to go nuts? Oh, we're going nuts then, I guess. This is going to be the LGBT stuff? Okay.
All right. Well, check this out. Now, researchers claim that bachelorette parties, we know that, right? That's when the girl has a big party before she gets married, but they're ruining LGBTQ plus safe spaces. This is out in Massachusetts, and they call the process heterification. Now, two university educators warned readers of the Boston Globe that bachelorette party attendees in Massachusetts are, quote, asserting their privilege in the local LGBT safe spaces. They accuse these, quote, mostly white women of attempting to, quote, escape their straight world by attending local gay bars and drag shows during their festivities. The two educators behind the op-ed, the writing, are assistant professors Okay, we'll skip that. Now, they call the bridal celebrations in LGBT spaces the process of heterification, similar to gentrification. They blame the attendees of bachelorette events for ruining these venues because they feel privileged to take over spaces of others. Now, these women only temporarily invade these spaces, but their presence slowly diminishes the integrity of the space.
So
What do you say about these bachelorette parties?
Hold on, wait. I just want to make sure I'm getting this story straight. So straight heterosexual women are going to gay bars and bachelorette partying it up, so that way they can, I don't know what they're doing, like why they find that fun, but this is bothering the patrons that normally go there. Is that how the story reads, or am I not getting this right?
They're making the place unsafe for the LGBTQ plus attendees.
All right, Chris, you want to start on this? Or you want me to start on this?
You go ahead, Mike.
Well, so it's weird because initially, hold on a second. Hey guys, this is my safe space.
Well, everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome here.
Of course,
Nocturnal.
Him and Knock climb in right when we're talking about the LGBT.
The bride should sue for discrimination.
Hey, all of a sudden, I'll chime in now. Look at that.
All right, here's the thing. So first, like, because the LGBT stuff, it does bother me sometimes. It's like, please leave me alone with that stuff. You don't got to push it on me, man. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe, and I'm not mad at you for believing that. However, I don't believe that, and that's not my problem. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not gonna pick at you. In fact, I think your clubs have banging music. You usually have banging DJs. Good for you, man. And if an LGBT DJ from an LGBT club wanted to come on our show, 100%. I would like to hear that perspective. Do you get where I'm going? Okay, but at the same time, don't like try to hijack stuff. Like, don't be like, yeah, we're minorities. It's like, but you're not. Not like the ones of us that were born that way, or however it works, or you can biologically tell that we're minorities. Let's just leave us minorities, and you guys will be asexual or something. Like, don't crowd that space. That, I think that's where it bothers me, is when they crowd that minority space. However, with all that being said, with this particular story, I don't blame the LGBs for being mad about this. I don't, man, because think about it, bro. We had a hip hop club, Chris, back in the day, and it was grimy, bro. It was gutter, but I loved it there, and Adlai loved it there too. And we had this DJ booth that was above the nightclub, and you couldn't get to the DJ booth without climbing up this ladder to a trap door. So you go up the trap door, now you're there, so nobody could bother us. And everybody loved the Chino brothers at this club. Like, they just adored us. Our number one fans would be there. And it was grimy, bro. Like, there were shootings, blah, blah, blah. But it was dude, I just love that place. He loved that place.
Yeah.
One night, Chris, these frat kids showed up. These sorority girls showed up. And I've already said a lot of racist things on this show, so I'm going to let Adlai finish this story for me. Adlai, you remember what happened that night?
If it's the one you're thinking of, too. And I think what it is, that the owner of the club kind of rented it out to the sorority fraternity kind of before our club kicked in. And I remember Mike just being like, dude, if one, like, even on the mic too, he was like, if one of you mother effers touch me or come near me, I'm socking you in the face and stuff. And it was like, oh my gosh, dude. But
see, Adlai's making it sound nice, because I said a lot of racial slurs.
But yeah,
the Caucasian folks that were there. I mean, like, straight, you probably shouldn't say this stuff on television. Caucasian slurs to these folks. And then this girl came up and she had requested a song, and our homeboy Ernie Durazo was with us. And I was like, hey, if you don't make out with earned dollars, we're not going to play your record. And she did. And poor Ernie was like an innocent kid, man. He was a baseball player in the college. Yeah. Like, it weren't these grimy DJs, dude. We were scumbags. My point in telling that story is to say this. That bar was there to be grimy, and we were there to have a great time. And that's what we did. And like Japanese foreign exchange students would come and see us, Chris, because they were like, wow, because Asian DJs weren't really a thing yet. And they'd be like, wow, they just watch us. And then just all black people just wilding out. I mean, muddy, wilding out, just disgusting, like gangbangers, everything. But it was fun, man. It was a great club. We loved it. If you're at your gay club, man, that's what you love. Yeah. That's your thing. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, like, I'm not an LGB. I don't believe in the LGB stuff, but I do believe in freedom of expression in these United States. that Chris went and fought for. Whether he agrees with it or doesn't agree with it, that's what he fought for, is that we're all allowed to have free expression. So if you're in the Klan, I don't agree with you, but I do believe you should have free expression. If you're an LGB, I don't agree with you. I don't hate you, but I also think you should have free expression. If you're a Christian, you should have free expression. Okay, these ladies are bothering these LGBs because they're trying to have their free expression, dude. That's my personal opinion. How you picking it up, Chris?
I see it as this. Like, I got gay friends. I've had gay friends for a long time. It's just because I don't care.
Yeah.
That's you. Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
We're good.
Yeah,
know?
Exactly.
And it was crazy because especially when I was in college, I had this one gay friend. He's a good ass dude, right? And there's a couple of times I would go with him. He's like, just come out with me. Come with. Like, all right, I'll go with you. Take me to the gay club with him. And I get hit on by girls like, oh my gosh, you can actually handle your sexuality. And girls were hitting on me like, oh shit.
Hold on real quick, Chris. We heard that live from so many men that Adlai and I went to gay clubs and we only got hit on by men. It was awful. No, we didn't even get hit on by men. He got hit
free
on by
drinks.
men. I didn't get hit on by
drinks.
Men. Adlai did, man.
But it was cool. Like, I mean, I didn't care. I know some who hit on me and I was just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm straight, you know? And some gave me attitude, some did. I didn't care though. And then, but I look at it with this whole analogy, think about it. And I did this at a younger age too. I go clubbing, and they say there's a group of girls. There's always that one cock blocker, and it's typically the dyke. And you have to be friends with that person in order to get the approval to hit on the friend.
Word up, man.
Are you sure they were not men? That's a good question. Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you wouldn't know, but back then we didn't have all these transformations like they do now. But you know what I mean? Though it's like, I think again. But so, are you saying that one person lesbian is violating our space now? Like, where's that equality, so to speak, that everyone wants? You can't just say I want equality, but only when it benefits me.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you.
All across the board.
Good.
100% agree with you. So
are they violating their space because what are with all respect, gay people violating our space at the clubs when they show up when they're just there to have fun with their friends? No, I don't see that as that way. So
yeah, I guess I you know what, Chris? I see your perspective. It's what you're saying is, well, I don't know though. Like,
but see, like I know I have straight female friends, and they like to go to gay clubs to go let loose because they don't have a bunch of dudes hitting on them, so they're able to be themselves. So are they now infecting the gay community at that club? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
No, because I understood that. Like, I was thinking about that for the bachelorette party. I was like, that's actually really smart because the girls can get torn up, they can go wild, and they don't have to worry about anybody being creepy. Yeah. Like, I was like, that's pretty smart. I actually thought that. But then I thought about that club me and Adlai did, and those white people coming bothering us. So then I was like, nah, I don't like that. But what you're saying is we still supposed to be America, and America's supposed to integrate. And if you don't like integrating, then you don't like America. And guess what? It's too late because all three of us right here, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 bloods mixed within us. That's how beautiful we are. We got 8 bloods,
8 different races all mixed together.
And I'm 4 of them.
I know you picked up the slack. Thanks, homeboy. That's our ringer, but we don't tell nobody about it. We're just like, oh yeah, we're the fastest.
Now that's good that you guys were talking about that too, because even these guys writing this article say that these women, they want to celebrate in these gay spaces to avoid, quote, the male gaze or sexual harassment.
That too.
So they get away from
because a lot of this I see it, they grow up on the women. Let's say it's a female's friend, and they're like, "Ew, get away!" Like, you know what I mean?
What this tells me, at the end of the day, the whole thing what this tells me is it's the straight man's fault.
100%.
That all of this is happening. So
no white
shame on us.
No, only whites.
Shame on us.
No, okay. We get a pass.
We're only partially to blame, but then just think about that too, though. Okay, you got the bachelorette party. They're going to the gay club, and then if you're the gay guys, you're just kind of like, oh, it's cute the first 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
but then after a while, it's got to get
number
annoying.
100. You're like, bro, this is a hip hop club.
And all
I told you already.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey.
Here comes another bachelorette party that's going to be super obnoxious in our spot, and they're going to be like, "Look at the gay guys! You guys are so awesome." You're just like,
yeah, but
it's
also
not
at the
cute
same
anymore.
time, think about it. Like, guys are so creepy. They hit on women when they desperately do not want to be hit on. You know what I mean? That's how come women go out without makeup nowadays. Like, you see a girl and she looks busted in her pajama pants, no makeup, everything. She comes to my shop, right? I'm like, man, look at this sea hag. Then I see her right before she's going to a club. She didn't get her vape yet, so she swings in, but she's all dolled up. I'm like, have I met you before? Like, I have no idea who you are.
Dude, I got to add this comment too. This is written in the article too. It says these women that go to have their bachelorette parties at the gay club, they suffer from a Will and Grace complex. They think they can shout Cher lyrics and yell, "Yes, queen," because they are welcomed into the gay culture. But the research shows they're not really welcomed. Ooh, Will and Grace. I like that.
That's
show.
like females with the word the bitch.
Dude, and just think of this: if you're the gay club and there's lesbians and stuff too, and then this whole crew of straight women come in, you're like, I ain't buying them a drink. Or do they buy them a drink and try to turn them? Because that's kind of why
that's happened too. I've seen that happen too.
That they actually turn.
I don't know if that's true, but if there is a lesbian bar, I should do some research and analogy. Just kidding. We all know what they really look like. They don't look like the ones on TV. Don't fool yourself.
I picture keychains, the chain keychains. That's what I picture at those clubs.
You know what it is? This is exactly what this story is. This story is none of my business. This story is 100% none of my business.
And we love everybody.
What do you think, Chris?
Throw that out there.
I said this story is none of my business because here's why. I'm not a white lady in the suburbs and I'm not a gay person. So I probably shouldn't be commenting on this because I'm getting confused with both sides. I agree with both sides. That's the problem. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I can see both views.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just see it as, again, like as you mentioned, Mike, there's things I don't believe in at a certain point of views, but I lost buddies fighting for that right too.
Yeah.
That everyone can have those disagreements and have their different set of opinions. And
all right, come on, Kristen, settle it for us. What's the right answer here? They should let these white ladies go to the gay bars, or the gays should not have to see the white ladies no more? What's the right answer?
I think if you preach equality, you need to implement it. You need to practice what you preach. Plain and simple.
So they should let the white ladies go to the gay bars.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm taking Chris' advice on this because I have no stake in this claim whatsoever.
I'm just saying, no. I mean, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it's never going to affect my life at all. But y'all heard Chris. You better listen to him.
Twisting it. See, no, I fell for it.
No, seriously. I really thought you had a well thought out answer, and I still am split between the two. However, your answer is, listen, America, we're done being divided. Let's stop being divided. I had enough of it. And you know what, bro? I like that. That, like, I want to learn that better. I'm bad at it because it's so much easier to tease and make fun of. However, if you're like, look, we're all weird. You don't think we're weird? Guess what we ate when we were kids or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Once you can get to that place, I think we can be a better America. Real quick, and then we'll do one more story, and then we'll let everybody go. But real quick, I didn't realize, Chris, that everyone didn't eat rice every day until I married my wife. And then I still didn't realize it for like 14 years, dude. Like we're cooking. And I was like, well, let me ask you a question. She's like, okay. I'm like, how often did you eat rice when you were a kid? And she's like, I don't know, maybe like once a month. I'm like, once a month? I'm like, we ate this every meal when I was a kid. Like, all right, anyways, that's an Asian thing. All right, come on, Adlai. What's our last story? Give it.
Dude, I gotta go. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with the guy who lost it and clubs the suspect who tried to steal his catalytic converter. And I don't really think you have to go beyond the headline with that. I mean, if you've had everybody, I think we've at the radio station, we've had every van's been hit for the catalytic converter. I've had stuff, and then even just getting your car stereo stolen or something. It's
the catalytic converter is the worst. Have you had yours stolen yet, Chris?
Nope. That's what I'm knocking on wood.
It is the worst. It's the worst because you get in your car and everything's normal. and then you kick it over, and all of a sudden it sounds like your car's about to explode, and you're like, what's going on? Because you're going off the straight pipe. And then you're starting to think, because like they stole it off of my dad's car. So my dad died and he gave me his car. So I drove it back here to Pittsburgh. So they stole the catalytic converter off a 94 Honda Accord. I'm like, this car is not worth anything. I don't want to put this much money back into it. But when my dad was alive, I promised him I'd keep that car as long as it ran. So I'm on the bill for it. Dude, if I would have caught that dude, if I would have walked outside and he was with a hacksaw, I'd probably take a bat to him, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be honest.
Dude, this is what's in catalytic converters in case you're interested. They've got platinum, rhodium, palladium, and gold. And rhodium was valued at $20,000 per ounce. Palladium, $2,900 per ounce. And platinum, $1,100 per ounce.
Damn, I should have stole my own catalytic converter.
Right?
And Mike, if you're thinking of replacing it, have you gotten estimates to replace it?
I had it replaced, but it was replaced with like a different type of pipe.
With a coffee can?
No, it wasn't that bad. But in because they had all its emissions were from California because it was from West Covina. But I brought it back to Pittsburgh, so our emissions are a lot lighter. So we had a different type of catalytic converter I could replace it with.
Still a few $100 though, huh?
Yeah, it was. I was not happy spending it on it. I was happy that they wouldn't steal the next one. That they'd be able to recognize it was the whack one, and they wouldn't steal it. So
we actually, for the station vans, we actually put like the what's that stuff called, the heavy rebar or whatever, rebar. Put the rebar around it like a whole cage. Had it specially welded and stuff too, just so they wouldn't.
Bad idea.
And we keep them in storage now too, so it's like knock on wood too. Hopefully that area is safe.
So you have stolen catalytic converters just in case your guys get stolen.
Are you selling some, Chris? You got the hookup?
Who's got the hookup, man?
What was that?
No, now, Chris, seriously, you walk outside, some cat's trying to hack off your catalytic converter. What are you gonna do?
I'm going at it. Honestly,
yeah, me too.
I ain't gonna lie because I'm also fed up in that aspect. A burglar breaks into your house, and if they cut themselves, they can sue you as a homeowner. You don't have any rights. I'm tired of all these people breaking the laws because they know they can get away with it. So to when do we finally put our foot down? I ain't gonna have it. I don't care. If I gotta go to jail, whatever, it is what it is. I don't think it's fair, but I'm gonna protect mine no matter what.
Bro, I thought I was gonna go to jail last week. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to say because it's very sensitive, like politically, the topic that this went around. But someone was trying to teach my daughter some stuff that they shouldn't be teaching her, and she's 10. So I told my wife, I said, "Look, I'll drop her off at daycare." I said, "Call Brandon. Brandon's my number 2 over at my shop. Brandon's an upstanding, good young man, hardworking kid, but he didn't grow up that way. You know what I'm saying? He grew up a little different." So I said, when I get there, I need you to call Brandon. She says, why? I said, because I'm going to need a good bail bondsman. And I don't know one, but I guarantee if he don't know one, he knows somebody who does know one. Because that's how far it was going to go. When it comes to the kids, it's like I don't care. What do you like? And it's nuts to me that like, it's like, well, now we're going to politicize this. You politicize whatever you want, bro. you come. Like it took a long time for me to get to where I am with these kids and with this wife and this house and my businesses. But I'll get rid of all of it because I've had none of it before. If you cross that line, and I don't like that. I don't like that I have to think that way, Chris.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is how whack our laws have gone because it pretty much protects them, And this is why,
especially in California.
Yeah, and this is why you have repeat offenders because they know there's no consequences.
Yep.
And so they'll continue to do it until there's legit consequences. It's gonna unfortunately keep reoccurring. Yeah,
dude, that's crazy. And I don't know. I can't be mad at this guy if he beat this guy up for stealing his catalytic converter. The guy did get away, but he left all his tools. But it's like, dude, you guys stealing catalytic converters out there, just go get a freaking job. Is that you know what I'm saying? Come on. If
I was on a jury and somebody beat somebody for taking the catalytic converter, I'd probably let him go. I'd probably find him innocent. Even if it was like, no, I'm telling you, I had a baton, one of those expandable batons. And I'd taken classes too. I got him right in the knee. I was beating that man senseless. Even if he said those exact words, I'd be like, sounds innocent to me. I pretend like I was dumb. Like I didn't speak English that good or something,
You know what's sad too, though? now that person has to watch out just in case his boys come back.
homeboy
and
comes
threaten the
back.
whole
Yeah.
family too.
Yeah, good
You know what I
point,
mean?
good point.
And that's what's sad because, and guess what? They'll get away with it if something happens. You know what I mean? Like here's where it's whack.
Yeah, I know. Well, but at the same time, for me, I think a lot of times people, I think people need to speak up. That's the problem. You know, at my shop, we have something called a-hole dollars, but we don't call them a-hole dollars. You know what we call them? So we tell them, I tell all the guys that work for me, look it, they come in, they get 5 a-hole dollars. You might have just got in a car accident. You might have found out your wife's cheating on you. You might have found out you had cancer or something. So you might be in a real bad mood. So you let him spend those. But after he spends 5, he ain't spending a-hole dollars, bro. He's an a-hole. So just square your back. And if you don't want to spend any money here, oh, well. But don't let him walk on you. And I think a lot of people don't get that. I think a lot of people don't get, it's like, dude, don't think you're going to vote for somebody who's going to speak up for you and stand up for you. I'm not saying politicians are good or bad. You need to speak up and stand up for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that we've made that taboo in our society. We've made clowning around with each other taboo in our society. We've made calling somebody out and saying, I don't agree with that, taboo in our society. That's foolishness. Because how am I going to learn if I don't speak to somebody who has a different perspective than myself?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where you can't you can't even say anything without offending a person. You know what I mean? And that's what's unfortunate too, because this is how I see our country has gotten soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, and at the same token, like a man can't even be a man anymore either. Like, it's just sad. And you can't even spank your child as a parent. You can't spank your child to bring him to a proper upbringing too. You know, kids have more rights than the parents.
I spanked my kids, but Pittsburgh's probably got different rules. I did spank my kids, bro. I was like, nah. And people were trying to tell me all that liberal stuff, bro. All that white liberal, no, you know, that's going to make your son. I said, you know what's going to make my son? A man. Don't worry about it. That's my son. We'll figure this out together. Like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you. But I also think that, first of all, we need to respect each other's space. Second of all, we need to recognize that we're supposed to be a tapestry. We're not supposed to be individual blots on a map. Mm-hmm. Next of all, we need to learn to joke with each other again. You know, it's real easy for us because we're all mixed and we're all mixed with Asians. So like we can make all these jokes at each other, but it is funny and we're all laughing with our gut. It makes a happy life to laugh with your gut. Versus if I crack one at you and you guys all clam up and like look at me like I'm some sort of creep or a weirdo, now I've got to figure, I better not say that anymore. That's not good. That's not good for a society, I don't believe.
I think there's a line though, because I know we can take things overboard too, though, when we joke around outside. I mean, I'm always good for a good laugh too. Like people, they'll talk crap about me because, you know, I'm short and I'll go along with it. And, you know, I like to laugh though. But then there's people, the minute you flip that script on them, all of a sudden, their feelings are hurt. Now they're the ones who are mad. It's like, wait a minute, I should have been mad from the get-go. But just because I switched that on you, now you're the one that's butthurt. Like, come on.
But dude, I think those are haters. Go ahead.
Let me ask you guys this, both of you guys this. I heard the term POC used yesterday. And I don't know if you guys know what that is.
No.
Person of color.
Oh.
So it's a politically correct term to call someone that's not white.
Oh, you're not supposed to say person of color anymore?
No, you are. That's what you're supposed to use for someone
you're not
that's
supposed
not
to say
white.
Black person or something?
Right.
Well, then how are you going to know what nationality the person is?
I don't know.
If I'm supposed to be looking for somebody.
Good, because it kind of drove me crazy. I was like, I don't know if I like this term, man.
Like, I don't like any terms. I don't talk politically correct. People think I'm a jerk for whatever reason, but at the same time, I swear to you guys, this is honestly what I believe. We are in the United States of America. That means we have freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. People get freaked out about, you know, the right to bear arms and things like that. And I understand those are important rights, but we're giving up the right to be able to have religion. We're giving up the right to freedom of speech. You know what I mean? And the society wants it that way. The society wants a weak man. The society, look at television programs. Even a man, if he's a masculine fella, he's still a bumbling fool. Am I wrong?
Interesting. Yeah.
That's
okay.
True.
So I think America needs to fall in love with itself again. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
Here's another thing. We're in a meeting and I brought up, someone was late and I brought up the term CPT. And it was like, whoa, don't say that. Whoa. And I was like, dude, we said it all the time when we were late.
We know what it is. It's like, how about this though? If you say CPT and people get mad, it's like, well, why are you getting mad? Because obviously you know what it is, or else you wouldn't know what the
and I'm the one saying it.
Yeah, well, and you also wouldn't. I wouldn't know what the first 3 letters of it are. You know what I mean? I'm giving you an abbreviation. You wouldn't know what that abbreviation is if you didn't know what color people time was. If you know what color people time was, then you knew what CPT was.
But the guy next to me,
Asian
a white
time is Filipino time.
Yeah, and everybody's got that too. Yeah, that's the next thing.
Dude, and about 3 minutes later, after I kind of brought it up and was like, I don't know. 3 minutes later, the guy next to me, a white guy, starts laughing like, I see what it means. I looked it up on my phone, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
That's what made Dave Chappelle quit, bro. White people were laughing too hard at his jokes. Like Dave Chappelle got nuts about that.
Yeah, a little too hard.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, where it's like some people take it over the top. I think like Adlai told me he used to work with this dude who was real racist. He was a white guy. He would tell him all kinds of like chinky jokes and stuff. I was like, man, I don't know if I would let that go. I'll probably have to punch him in the mouth. Like I've never been good with that. Anybody, like I always get frustrated by that. I'm like, no.
That was for
go ahead.
I was gonna say it was for a home improvement store, and it was the Christmas party. And I was tempted to go to HR. Like, that's how bad it was.
I would have been tempted to punch him in the mouth and hit him with my car. That's what I would have been tempted to.
Oh, yeah. I was like, dude, you need to stop, bro. Like, yeah, I got to that point. Like, bro.
Because,
you know, if you make fun of someone,
Lord's got to bless my heart better, man. So I stop having these temptations, man. These temptations aren't good.
There was, yeah. So go ahead, Chris.
What are you going to say, Chris?
Now, I was saying, since we're on that topic, how do you guys feel? I'm kind of torn, but whatchamacallit? What is it, the Cowabunga song or whatever? What was it? The rapper, LA, where he's doing the whole Mexican culture.
Oh, you're talking about
Lean Like a Cholo?
No, he's talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember his name now.
I'm trying to blank.
Was
Wiz
it
Khalifa?
Mr. Wiz?
Was it Wiz?
And it was a song called Cowabunga?
Oh no, it wasn't Wiz Khalifa. It was
Travis Scott?
No.
Oh man, you have to look that up.
I got it. Oh man, but he did straight up painted his skin brown.
He's a white dude, and he was a white dude, and he made himself look brown.
No, it's a African.
He was a black guy. Okay, yeah. All right.
Oh, it's gonna.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll look it up later. What do you think of that, Adlai? Brown, a black guy going brown.
That's. I mean, again, if it's legit and real, and you're raised in that neighborhood, that's one thing. But if it's appropriation, it's appropriation. You know what I mean?
Dude. Doesn't anybody else miss the 80s and 90s when we could just watch funny stuff?
Yeah, I miss watching In Living Color.
Yeah, like why do we gotta like we have to overthink everything? It's like these jelly beans are brown. Is that because there's Mexicans coming? It's like, come on, dude. I only got brown jelly beans. I was cheap. I went to the brown jelly bean store. I should have gone somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Like people are getting canceled for nothing.
Yeah.
And the people who are getting canceled for nothing, and then all the rest of us normal people, they want to cancel us. They're just waiting for us to say that wrong word. Yeah, and we dance around it all the time too. It's like, well, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know, it's like, but it should just be this. Look, you believe in that. And I have no problem with you believing in that. And like me and Adlai had a gay roommate. Like I was never mad at TJ ever. But at the same time, TJ also knew what was up. You know what I mean? Like he's like, Mike don't believe in this stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Mike likes me as a person. But I didn't believe in the same religion as TJ. Didn't make me like him any less. Yeah. TJ was a Native American. I was half Asian. Didn't make me like him any less. Like, and TJ was also flamboyant and kind of annoying-ish at times. Bro, he lived with me in Adlai. And like, this is in the 90s when it's like, you live with a gay person? It's like, yeah, I know. I guess I do. You know what I mean? So like, people kind of suspect on that stuff. But I never cared. Like, it didn't bother me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like, do your thing. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Like,
but if I don't believe in it, you can't be
really cool peoples, you know? It's like,
yeah, but you can't be mad at me if I don't believe in it. If I'm like, no, that's not, you know, I don't believe in it. You know what I mean? Like, but so that's my thing is if we can get to that America where you can say that, Chris
did it die?
Yeah.
Oh,
if you can get to that America, then I feel like you'll be all right. I don't know if Chris was going to say, yeah, we can get there. I bet you he would say, yeah, we can get there. What do you think?
I think so too, dude. I think so. Cool, man. That was a great interview, though, man.
He's a very
Chris
positive person, huh?
Yeah, dude, and he's been through some stuff, man. So it's
Very
cool.
disciplined.
Yeah, he just texted me. Yeah, laptop died.
Very
Also,
disciplined person.
let me just text him too while we're wrapping up and stuff too.
Did you feel guilty talking to Chris because he was so disciplined and we are not?
Nah, not really, dude. I've just known him for a while too, but because we'd hang out, we'd go to lunch and stuff, and he'd go to the clubs where we're at or whatever and stuff too. But he's just a
Did it
cool
make
dude.
you feel guilty for eating like crap? He's making me feel guilty. I'm like, look, bro, I'm healthy.
I had it, dude, for lunch. Oh, he might be coming back on.
He's coming
You
back.
Are you coming back on via phone?
Hey, I'm Asian. Persuasion. I found my way in back then.
Word up, dude. Word up, dude. We're just.
I was thinking, I was like, oh, I should probably text him.
I was asking Adlai if you made him feel guilty about his horrible diet. He said, nope, I don't feel guilty at all.
No, you guys made me feel comfortable talking about gay people.
Really?
Okay, we'll take that. That's cool. That's a good thing, right?
Well, because like the thing is like I want to be able to clown with people, and not have everybody take every single thing as if it's hate speech.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. And as far as the meal prep goes, though, dude, I was gonna go to fast food, but my mom's was around the corner where we're at. We're at that gas station on Coffee Road.
Is that where I seen you riding your bicycle?
That I'm trying to get healthy. I'm like, dude,
are you riding your bike, Adlai?
I'll ride my bike to the gym, but one time my buddy lives not too, maybe like a mile and a half from me, and I was riding, but it was like, dude, it was probably 110 degrees.
It was hot.
I was like, I'm just gonna go over there. I'll hang out with them for a little bit, and then I'll head back. And it was, dude, he saw me on the way back, and I was dying, dude.
Oh,
he's
man.
all delay, and I was like, dude, homie, Chris drives a truck, man. Maybe we should just get a ride. Dude. And it's right by Taco Bell too.
I would scream back. These gas prices are killing me, and then just kept going.
Well, that's what I tell people. Is like, have you seen gas prices? I do ride it to the gym in the morning, even though it's only like a mile, whatever. But I'm all like, hey, dude,
good.
whatever. Gets the heart pumping a little bit before I get there and stuff too. But where are you working at now, Chris?
Working
out. Where do you work out?
at In Shape on California.
In Shape. Okay, you showing them some stuff over there?
No, I'm really getting back into it.
Okay, you're on In Shape. Okay, I'm at Body Exchange, dude. But dude, just being reminded of eating right is a big deal because the only reason I didn't go fast food because my mom's all, I just made pho, the soup, so come through, and I'm like, okay, cool.
It's
I really
pho, not pho.
That's what she called it.
You know what we should do? We should have Chris come on like once a month and just give everybody one recipe that would be a healthy diet, and that'll be our diet thing. And then we should have a diet challenge, Adlai, between you and I, and see who could lose more weight.
I've been stuck at 185 forever, dude. So
Well, you guys need to do the seafood diet.
eat everything.
Yeah, everything.
I
you
see
see.
food. I eat food.
You do that for 1 month, and then the real diet starts after that. Nah.
Oh man, I'll be so fat. I like eating, bro. I love
dude,
that.
Me too.
You know what it is? So I have a client. Well, because I was training him, but prepping him up for his wedding, and in the beginning he struggled with the meal plan I provided him, and he was just like, "Man, this sucks." I go, "Trust me, this is actually the easiest part for you." I go, because later on you're gonna be craving food like this, and I go, and eventually you're gonna hate food like this, and so I got him his body acclimated, everything. Because what I like to do is I'll take the longer route, but I like to manipulate the body. I know how to like make the body respond the way you should, and so I got him down to cutting now. And every time he eats out, he'll text me, "I got a stomach ache." I go, "What'd you do this time?" He's like, "Oh, I had Burger King." I'm like, "There you go." I go, "This is what happens when you finally make the right decisions and you're finally doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your body rejects it."
Okay.
Yeah, my body doesn't even like candy anymore. Like I was eating Reese's Pieces today, and they tasted greasy to me. I'm like, this sucks. And I like candy. I love candy. I'm like,
Michael's the candy guy. That's not a bad idea, though. Get him on here every once in a while and just be like a health tip from Chris.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. You gonna get the boot camp going again?
Huh?
You gonna get the boot camp going again?
Nah, no, I'm just in fitness for myself right now. Like I just,
Yeah.
it's my stress reliever. You know, before it was my career, my living, my everything. And,
How
know,
much
I
you
loved
bench,
it.
bro? How much you
Huh?
bench? How much you bench?
The most I benched, I didn't go for benching. I went for looks.
That's right.
Okay. For
But the
maintenance,
most I benched was only like 315.
315 pounds. And
Yeah.
you
You
said
ever feel like
only?
just getting fat, dude?
That's
You
a
ever
lot,
feel like
dude.
just getting a dad bod, dude, and just being like, ah, well, screw it.
Well, I've had a dad bod. Now I'm just like trying to get my abs right now. I've been trying to work on my abs.
That's a lot of work, man. I don't
How
know.
many sit-ups and crunches you do?
None.
Really?
Ooh.
Just diet? Is it only diet?
I mean, what you eat, and you don't really think about it. Look at when you're riding your bike. You're actually utilizing your abs too, because it's controlling the whole center body. You work out your abs, your core. Look at sitting down, sitting back up, everyday movements. You're working out your core. You don't need to. It's all in what you eat. Because think about what's covering it. It's your body fat. That's what you need to attack.
Fat. Got to get rid of the fat. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Oh man, I'm feeling it right now. You guys can't see it.
All right, where can we find you at, Chris? Where's your socials? At what?
My Instagram. Well, I don't really put business on there, but people want to follow just for the heck of it. I don't care. My Instagram is gohard_Q. And then my apparel line is actually gohard.live, LIVE, on Instagram.
You got some new gear up there?
You know what? I want to work on some new ones right now. I tested it out for a bit because I have these and then I have Blessed. It says Blessed. Same font.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one. Okay.
Because you know we're blessed to be alive, and that's how I've been feeling.
True.
So, but I'm gonna do some other ones. I had to actually be off of work and everything because I don't know if you could see, but I had a cast on for the last 8 weeks. I broke this bone that connects my thumb and my index finger. So I had surgery 8 weeks ago.
That's how you get out of handcuffs, Adlai. You break that little bone right there.
Right there.
You're on the run.
Yeah. Me, Speedy Gonzalez over here. Nah.
All right, you guys. Well, follow the Chino Brothers on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, on Instagram. We don't post that often over there, and Facebook as well. And we will see you next week. Thank you for following us. Thank you for watching. Chris, thanks for being here, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're gonna keep you in the green room for 2 seconds too.
All right.